Hey guys, welcome to Group Chat. Got a hell of an episode today, Dee.
Hell of an episode.
Got a lot to talk about. I mean, we're going to start. We do have. It's a very historic, unfortunately for a negative reason, day in America. So we're going to talk about that real quick. But then we're going to jump in. Even actually before that, I mean, number one, we're starting with just understanding. We continuously pull conversations and things that we're hearing from the young people in our office.
We have the Gallup poll of the youth.
Yeah. And this one is under the topic of dating and what's the hot
specifically for young white males.
Young white impressionable males, what is the hot group that they're really looking at when it comes to ladies that they're trying to date? We got some intel today that might blow your mind.
Ladies, if you're interested in this,
there might be some Cathys out there that, like, if you want to go ahead and slide in our DMs, we can connect you with our guy here. So anyway, we're going to talk about that. It's always fun to kind of understand what's going on in the brains of the youth. And then we have a lot of news to talk about. I mean, we're all across the board today. We're going to talk. We got a big CPI print coming this week. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about everything kind of going on in the economy, talk about, the going back to the office struggles. And then we have a company that might be like the new, you really went to town on Peloton and you ended up being right.
Yep.
And I think in this episode, you put a new company into your crosshairs.
I got one.
So you're going to find out who it is. You're going to find out what's so wrong. And many, many more things. And then we end the episode with an interview.
Great interview. Super interesting. And they're Canadian.
There you go.
We're inclusive. People say Americans aren't inclusive. We're very inclusive. We have Canadians on the podcast.
Very inclusive. We open up our borders here on Group Chat. Okay, let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Hey, Dee.
Hey.
We got a problem.
We do have a problem.
We work with a lot of young people, as we should. They keep us fresh. We always have, ever since, apparel, now making content. It's important to tap into the youth.
I'm all about the youth.
All about the youth.
Yeah.
Right? One day we were the youth. We had a lot of youth around. Now that we're not the youth, even more important, we have the youth around.
Exactly.
And I think we've seen for years how trends and pop culture and just kind of what's going on really affects the youth.
Specifically white kids from the Midwest.
They are the most impressionable group.
It's like a record label just has a picture of Shay in her studio and they just throw darts at it and
literally
we're just gonna,
every year
we're going to influence him.
Every year. Maybe this will do it. And so we've seen how important that audience is to influence and they're very easily influenced. And we just had a conversation right before we started rolling with Shay, one of the youth. And he's been influenced.
Yeah.
And it's affecting his dating life or maybe where he's going to look for girls. Now, I would say that like the old, kind of what used to be like the token hot girl was kind of like Kendall Jenner.
Yeah.
Right? Then it switched to Kylie Jenner.
Yeah. It's
switching again, and I'm a little alarmed at the direction it's going.
He made a statement. He's like, I want to go from 4 Locos to 401ks.
Is that how this started?
It's time to level up.
Is that how this started? Because that was your line?
He went to Dave & Buster's this weekend, and him and Javier somehow came to this conclusion. Well, not Javier. Shay, to be fair, said, I need to level up. I'm looking for a woman with a timeshare in Florida. I'm like, oh, you're looking for a 70-year-old woman?
Yeah.
Because no 28-year-old has a timeshare in
They don't even know what a timeshare is. And so when I walk in, he's talking about like dating 70-year-olds or whatever, 40, 50, whatever.
What is your age? Just so we understand. Get closer to the mic.
25. We're ready.
So 25 is leveling up.
What's too old for you?
I mean, how old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? So we're just, we're fast and
Are we talking like Alzheimer's here?
Well, okay, not quite that. Right?
I'm saying they don't know how old they are. You're talking real old.
We're feeling it out.
Okay.
So you don't even know what that means by that statement you made?
No.
Because when you said that, I assumed you were looking for someone 40 plus.
Yeah.
But you
Okay,
just
so
said
then-
25.
No, he said he's 25, right?
No, he's 24.
No.
He's looking for a 25-year-old.
No, I'm 25. I'm looking for someone a little more established.
He
than
okay.
already lied a little and
Okay.
bumped his age up
Yeah,
a year.
yeah.
He went out there like,
No, he's saying he's 25 and he's looking for apparently so old you don't even know how old you are anymore.
So
seeking maturity.
You're looking for dementia.
Yes.
You're
so then
looking to rob a woman.
Never. We'll never.
well, maybe not like put it in a bag and leave the house, but long term, we're talking robbery here. So this is the other thing is I realize that there's a trend going on TikTok that could be leading to this behavior.
Yeah.
And that is Young Gravy. Are you familiar with Young Gravy?
Yeah, I love his song.
Okay, so Young Gravy is
Betty? Is that the song? What's the song called?
Ask the fan here.
Oh, yeah. That's the one.
Yeah.
So he is notoriously a MILF lover.
Yeah. He took Addison Rae's mom to MTV.
To the VMAs. It was like making out with her on camera and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the Midwestern impressionable white brain is being influenced.
White brain can get influenced very easily.
That Midwest white brain is just ready for some influence.
It went from rap to older women.
Yes. So Shay, would you say that like Young Gravy's on your radar?
100%. It's tough to see someone else living your dreams. You know, like it's just kind of one of those things.
Is it more the rapping or the older lady?
He gets both. That's everything a white guy has ever wanted. He gets the rap and he gets the milfs.
401k.
God gives with both hands, apparently. Like what?
What do you think about Mrs. D'Amelio?
I mean,
She's a married woman.
I was about to say, like, we'll see where that goes.
That's like your top of the chart.
Yeah.
We're keeping an eye on the situation.
Where do you learn these taglines?
This is rap poisons the youth.
He only responds in taglines. You say like, yo, what type of girl are you looking for? Like 401k is better than like what? Oh,
this is how kids talk.
It is.
They can't have conversations.
It's all code.
It's hashtags. He speaks in hashtag.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I mean, whatever. More power to you. Let me just give you a little bit of advice. And I think Dee already said this before we started recording, so I'll give him credit. The type of woman or elderly woman that you're looking for, isn't it Dave and Buster's? You gotta fish in a different pool.
We're gonna find a bridge club to go to. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, Beverly Hills. Go pull out of this office, go that way.
Yeah,
and just sort of don't stop until you see ocean. And just look for pools you can clean.
I'm writing this down.
Yeah,
I think it's either country clubs.
Yeah, that's big.
Cleaning pools.
Pools. I feel like you could be the young pool boy for some divorce.
We've been doing more push-ups lately. We're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Who's the other person in this we?
Well, it's, like just generally speaking, me and my conscience, we're thinking about it.
Got it.
Hashtag
all of us. Hashtag
all
all
of
this
us
together. Okay.
Hashtag no sex Fridays.
I wonder if like older ladies are just getting young dudes coming at them from all angles now because of Young Gravy.
For sure.
They're like, what is, oh my dear.
They're standing in line at Best Buy and boom, three numbers.
There's a little Chad. Like, what's up, mom?
What's up, mama?
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, Shay, keep us updated, man. I mean, I hope this is a new hunt.
Yeah, it is. We're up on it now.
All of us.
Yeah, all of us.
Got it.
Collectively.
Got it. Okay. All right. Ready for some news?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. Today's 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously one of the most devastating days in American history.
Yeah. At least in our life.
Yeah. And I do got to say, this is my take. Like, obviously I was alive during it. I remember it very well. Super insane. I've since watched a lot of documentaries and videos and things about it. The thing to me that I think is like the take this year is I was actually surprised at the amount of, like, it was on social media a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of concerned. Like, it felt like maybe things are so crazy now and everyone's TikToking and hunting down older ladies and all this stuff that, like, maybe we just don't remember it this year.
Yeah.
But I mean, I felt like it was pretty.
It definitely, like, considering how big of a moment it was in our recent lifetime.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy how, I don't know, it felt not as, I don't know, noticed.
So you felt like it wasn't really that prominent?
Yeah, I mean, and I read an interesting article that said that, there are kids that are 21 years old in college that were not alive when this happened.
How is anyone here? No one's here 21, right? You guys are
No.
all 25-ish. But you guys don't remember 9/11.
No, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But I was alive.
Yeah.
You guys were like 4 and 5.
I was a year old.
A year.
And how do you feel about? Like, do you feel any?
Do you understand it?
Yeah.
Like, does it? I wonder if it does that
Do
feel
your
like
parents talk about it or?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of like what I understand of it comes from those documentaries that you're talking about.
Yeah. Huh.
It's such a like, and I'm sure it's the same thing that like older Americans feel about D-Day or other like historic days in American history.
Yeah.
That, you know, over time, unfortunately, become less and less relevant.
Yeah.
It's just because it happened in our lifetime. And it was, for me, it was like, it impacted my life.
Yeah.
Because I was literally a senior in college. It was like the second week of school, my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely impacted like the course of my life because of what you could or could not do.
So you noticed, like, the one thing I didn't notice, I'd flown before, but I didn't really notice the difference in the experience of an airport. Like, I do have memories of my parents being able to walk all the way to the gate with me.
Yeah.
Or when you arrived in a city, someone could greet you coming off of your plane. But I didn't fly enough that, like, you really noticed how security changed, how everything changed.
I think it was just not just so on the aviation side, the big changes are obviously. So George Bush after 9/11 created TSA.
So there was no TSA.
It was third-party private agencies that handled security at airports.
like at an event.
Yeah.
Like security at an event.
Exactly. And that's when they made it a federal thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they moved from the basic metal detectors to what we have today, or versions of better versions of what we have today. And then when the guy with the shoe bomb, that's when we had to start taking off shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the incident which caused the 3.5 ounce liquid change.
Mm-hmm.
Then the laptops, like you were literally like cruising through.
Yeah.
I mean, you were smoking cigarettes in my childhood, flying to India on a Pan Am flight. You could smoke.
You remember that?
Yes. My mom was like, we don't want to sit in the back because people smoke.
Was the ventilation good enough that you didn't smell? Like, did you smell it in the front?
Of course.
So you're just sucking in cigs.
Yes.
You probably had a pack of cigs on the way to India.
Here's a 15-hour
You're like a
flight.
10-year-old just sucking down a pack of cigs.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so like, if you think about like the impact that had, just not, okay, first on travel.
Yeah.
And obviously all the other things that happened after that, us going into war, all the racial profiling and just the fear. After 9/11, there was just a general fear in America.
Yeah.
That I don't think existed at that level before. Like you never felt that as an American, something could happen to us here.
Yep.
Yes, we went to war. Yes, we did those things, but like, in your home, you could be attacked.
Yeah.
Because
I don't feel like that fear ever went away. I feel like that like became part of our DNA. Like
100%.
now that is possible.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, you know, you're talking World Trade Center, Pentagon, like, you know, the fields in Pennsylvania. It's like, and then after that, we started seeing like a string of other types of attacks all over the world. What happened in London and just this series of attacks that basically changed the way, like, I think people lived, people feared. It's insane how like that event changed like the course of history.
Yeah. I just wonder as content gets more and more quick and bite-sized and just what's trending today, like I feel like there could very easily be a day where like we have no long-term memory.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like I remember even up until probably 5 years ago, maybe a little more, but like you were watching sports and they would do a tribute, or like you were watching the news and they would do a tribute, or you know, there were certain places that had these people's attention, and so on these moments they would do tributes and you would remember it. But I feel like if you spent the day I was just impressed with the amount, like on Instagram. Like a lot of people posted about it. A lot of people talked about it. But like I went over on TikTok and there's not one.
No, because they weren't alive.
They're worried about Ray J.
Yeah.
That's what's going on TikTok. I just wonder, like I said, is there a day where literally something happens this year and by next year it's just out of the content cycle, and so who even knows about it?
I mean, that's how I feel about the shootings at schools.
Yeah.
Parkland,
That's true.
Sandy Hook. Do you think if you asked a random young person about those two shootings, maybe Parkland, Sandy Hook, they've never heard of it.
Yeah.
And those are like horrific.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be the new normal. Well, anyway, I did see, like, obviously everyone had their flags at half-mast, and you know, I don't know. It's good to see that it wasn't completely forgotten about. And
I know we've talked about this on the podcast a lot. That was the last time I think we all agreed that America felt unified after that moment.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine what would it take today?
Aliens.
It would have to be aliens.
It'd have to be aliens.
Yeah.
Because anything else turns into, I mean, even Ukraine, I feel like got really quickly.
Oh, Ukraine is not unified.
Politicized.
No, yeah, there's no unification on that.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, I would never, of course, say like 9/11, there was anything good about it, but I do remember that feeling and it felt really good. Like, like the feeling of everyone being unified and like, I don't know, you just felt very like comfortable. Like,
unless you're an Indian guy with a turban, you were fucked.
You were fucked. Yeah. Didn't feel good. Yeah. Well, where I'm from, they didn't have any. We didn't have any of those.
Man, so I knew some, and their life sucked.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, the craziest thing to me is we are now 21 years past it, and we just talked this year. I mean, in the last year about getting out of Afghanistan.
Yeah,
which is really like that's still the remnants of that.
Yeah.
We still talk about obviously all the airport stuff. Like, man, what an impact that one day had.
Look, I would be surprised. Do you guys even know who Osama bin Laden is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're not that.
What about Saddam Hussein? Do you know who Saddam Hussein is?
We got him, right? That's the guy.
That was Osama bin Laden. I mean, we also
got Saddam Hussein.
We got Saddam Hussein. Well, they got him.
Do you know who Saddam Hussein is and what he did? Or who he was?
There was allegedly WMDs. We went after him.
What country?
Iraq.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You got it. All right, young gravy.
Okay. You got to know this, bro. These are your dates.
Your crowd is going to want to know
You're going to
this.
be on dates, and they're going to be like, "Oh, I remember,
my AP history textbook.
Back when I was 30, and we got Saddam Hussein." And you're going to be like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah. Saddam Hussein.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't even know how to end that, but tragic day in American history. I'm glad we haven't forgotten about it, and it's just crazy to see the impact that it had.
Yeah, it's wild.
Okay, back to the news. What do we got? Let's get an update on general sort of state of all things going on, economy, everything going on. It looks like, I mean, this seems like some good news. There are some signs that inflation slowed in August. When do we get the numbers?
So Wednesday is the CPI.
Okay, big day. And then do they decide, does the Fed decide what to do after that?
I think the week after the Fed has a meeting.
Okay.
So, I mean, the next 2 weeks basically dictate the rest of the year.
That is true, huh?
Yeah.
Because you're either like, really it's starting to end, you're making progress, or we are fucked.
Yeah, and then they're just going to keep raising rates.
Okay, and then what's going on with the trade deficit? That's we're doing well there?
Yeah, so the trade deficit declined 12.5% to $70 billion. Exports of goods and services edged up, while imports fell 3%. Basically, people are not bringing goods into this country.
Why did that change?
I mean, I
think
it's
a pretty dramatic change.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that the consumer is so bad in America that everyone, dude, freight rates of a container are now. I talked to Flexport last week. Said $3,500.
Yeah.
It was 21,000 at the peak.
So really, this feels to me like a good number that actually isn't a good number.
Yeah.
It's sort of like saying, oh, gas prices are down because demand is gone now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the fact that we are seeing some indication that things are slowing is a really, really good sign. And that is one sign because there's just going to be less goods in here. The other issue is really all the other inflationary things that people are looking at. So the good news is obviously gas prices. Gas prices are clearly coming down. The peak was national average over $5. We're now inching near $3.50 on a national level, which is amazing. Airfare, which was like record high the last couple months.
Yep.
Now for a budget airfare flight is $275.
Okay.
And the peak was 400. What else is there? There's the big problems are still rent.
Yeah.
And housing prices have not come down.
Those seem like they're coming down quick. Or like it's
Have you heard anywhere where rent is down?
Not rent, but I have just heard nonstop housing issues.
I saw hotel rates dropped 4.6% in August from July.
Okay.
September is going to be way more.
Yep.
Used car prices dropped 1.2% in August.
Okay.
I follow this guy on Twitter. He's like the used car guy, or he's like just a car dealership guy.
Yeah.
He just gives car stats.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he thinks the next 30 to 60 days, used car prices are just going to fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
New car prices, realistically, there's still a supply backlog.
Yeah.
Probably next year.
Yeah.
But, you're seeing all the right things happen. I just don't know if it offsets rent and housing yet. Where have you heard about housing? In LA?
I've just heard from real estate people as well as the online crowd, just that home sales are going down. It's more so that we might have talked about this on the show, that the prices aren't necessarily going down yet. The amount of homes sold are going down. And obviously the prices will come right after that. But there's just, I see every chart that's like up, and then it's starting to crank down.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, that's just everything I hear is like, oh yeah, it's starting.
I mean, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Curious to see. I mean, obviously mortgage rates hit a high last week.
Yeah.
Curious to see how it plays out. There was one open house in my neighborhood today. There used to be a lot more.
This number is really important.
Yeah, it's just got to be bad. Just please be bad. We want this number to be like, oh, inflation's it's over.
Wait, what do you want?
So we need inflation to be like, last month it was like whatever, 8-9%.
Mm-hmm.
We need to show like 5%. That's what I want. 4%, 3%.
You're saying bad meaning no one's buying anything.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you mean by bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
agreed.
like the prices, it's because it's not a spending data. It's really showing the price of things.
Yeah.
It needs to show that the price has gone down.
Yeah.
And the reason why I don't believe it has is that in everyday life, outside of gasoline and some of the used cars or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, restaurant prices have not dropped.
Yeah. I hope you're wrong. Because this is the way that I look at it. Tell me if you see it differently. This is the future that Jerome Powell wants anyway.
Yeah.
So we might as well get to it sooner than later. Because either way, until they wipe out all of these things, we're not really going to solve the problem.
I was at the mall today, Century City. It was fucking crowded. I'm like, what are you guys doing? It's a recession. Sit your asses at home.
Get home.
Stop spending money.
Stop. Yeah.
I mean, if we wanted to do this, I'll give you a great example. Last week, during this heat wave in California, every Californian got an alert. After 4 p.m., 3 p.m., shut off your power. I followed the grid on Twitter.
Yeah.
They were posting. The usage plummeted.
After that alert?
Yes, plummeted.
Wow.
To a level that was sustainable for the grid to exist, not shut off.
So send out an alert. Stop spending fucking money.
I literally think we should send out as a country.
Yeah.
From Tuesday 3 to 7, don't fucking spend any money.
Yeah, don't spend any money.
Because it just proved that we want all for the greater good to work as a community and solve problems.
I say chill till Black Friday.
I mean, I would 4 hours, 4 hours one day.
Everyone calm down. Just wait. Plan your Thanksgiving trip.
Yeah.
Do your Black Friday shopping. Just wait. Wait 2 months.
I mean, literally, if people just be disciplined for a few weeks, this shit's over.
Yeah. But there's no way, right?
We should send alerts. Okay, on Monday from 3 to 10 p.m., please don't spend any money.
Yeah.
Please.
Just like every week. Just pick a day. Today's
Pick
no
a day. It's like, be real. You never know.
Yeah, here it comes.
That 1 hour, you don't spend.
No more spending.
Yeah.
You got 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BeCheap. That's my app.
I like that.
Okay, I'm going to send you a notice, and that 1 hour, you don't spend any money. I actually think it's fucking brilliant.
I think it is. And I think that the government should actually create their own Be
They
Real.
should.
It's like, hey, today, here's the challenge.
I'm going to create
Turn off your
it. I'm going to
AC.
hand it to the government. I'm going to save inflation.
You should. You could be a hero. You could be like the tech Batman. You know, you're just like, look at me. I coded this up for you. Bam.
BeCheap.
BeCheap. Today's alert. Turn off your AC.
And then you show that you didn't spend any money.
Yeah, and then you get like sort of social reward.
Yeah, social reward. Hey, I didn't spend any money Friday night.
They're
Fuck
like, wow,
you.
that D is so cheap.
Yeah.
Didn't spend $1.
That's the cheapest guy I know.
That's the cheapest guy. I love that guy. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we're going to see. Wednesday's a big number. Either way, once again, correct me if I'm wrong, but either way, the pain is coming. So we might as well get to it sooner than later. Right?
Yeah, I agree. I just can't. When I saw the mall today, I was like, what are these people doing?
Not a good sign. I'm hoping that's bubble life.
I'm hoping they were just walking around because it was just hot and like they're going to the food court, not like shopping. I went inside a few stores. There was no one like paying for anything.
Okay, that's good. Stay out. Get the fuck out of these stores.
I'm going to just walk up and down malls. Stop!
Yeah, don't go in.
It's going to be 50% off in 3 weeks. Just relax.
It's true. All right. What about some back to the office drama? Goldman Sachs. We talked about how they're having everyone go back to the office. I don't know. Dee, were you on that episode? I remember me and Anand were just talking about how, like, he was saying that is the world that should absolutely go back to the office. Yep. He thinks that world, like the culture of that world is very, they work hard, and so there shouldn't be any problems there. I said, I think you might be surprised. But we have another story about it. Apparently, they're taking away the free coffee in the office. This seems like a mistake. It seems like for just a little bit, like, keep your perks up. Yeah. Get everyone back in the office, then yank the coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I think what people are realizing as an employer, at the end of the day, you can do all these great things for your employees. Yeah. But no one really cares.
They just want to be home.
They'd rather be home. So let's make it like home. You don't get free coffee at home. Yeah. You don't get free coffee.
You don't get it here. Bring your own coffee maker if you want. I feel like literally like the future offices are going to have to be little bedrooms. Yeah. It's like, look, bring your own coffee maker. Yeah. Watch your fucking podcast. Do whatever you did at home. That's kind of
genius.
But do it here. Yeah. And at least you can be present.
We live.
There you go. What's the new one? Flow?
Flow.
There you go. Just make one of these flow places your office.
I just think, look, you're going to see cost cutting across from companies. Yeah. Goldman also, as well as JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, bankers were complaining that they didn't get free tickets to the U.S. Open, which is like definitely a perk because JP Morgan is like, I think, a sponsor. Yeah. But I truly believe employers, these huge employers, like a company like Google, who came out, the CEO came out and said to make the company 20% more efficient. He just came out and said that.
He just said the words more efficient.
Yes.
Whatever that may mean.
If I'm him, that means people. That means food.
Kombucha.
All of that. Yeah. Like, do you really need unlimited food?
I mean, look, Google is obviously brilliant and one of the biggest companies in the world, whatever. But like, I don't think of them as efficient. No. Like when you think of the headcount they have and what their office is.
200,000 people.
Yeah, and what it looks like at their offices.
You can cut 150,000 people at Google. They wouldn't skip a beat.
Would not. You could skip everyone but who works on search.
Yeah. YouTube.
And YouTube.
YouTube search. Yep. everyone else kick the fucking
The
rocks.
Google fucking Pixel, that whole team's out of here.
Yeah. Android.
What's that? 10,000
Bye.
people later. So 20% seems like a light thread of like headcount cut.
Yeah.
And for them, that sucks. For the people who would get cut, of course. But to me, 20% more efficient for Google seems easy.
Yeah, and I think this is what's going to happen in all these companies. I was reading a tweet thread that white collar people are like the biggest complainers about going back to work. They love remote work.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually going to become quickly the easiest to replace.
Yeah.
Because you're finding efficiencies overseas.
Yeah.
And now that people can, if you can, and we've said this 100 times on this podcast, if you could if remote work is okay for you, why would you hire someone in America?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. That's the problem. That's a real like looming problem.
I have cousins in India that live in Bangalore that went to the best colleges that would happily work for an American company for half. Their life would be amazing in India.
Yeah.
And they still win. Everyone wins.
What happens if that happens? Like, look what we did with manufacturing, right? It's just gone.
Yeah.
And now the bad thing is we rely on all these other countries, but now we're kind of stuck because it's so cheap that to bring everything back here it's impossible almost.
Yeah.
If that happens with this section of employees, what do you do? Like, you'll never be able to get it back.
All we have left is dancing.
On TikTok?
Yeah. I don't know if you saw the clip. Scott Galloway was on Bill Maher, and he basically said what we've been saying, which is TikTok is just an extension of the Chinese government, and that they should ban it, and that it has way too much influence over young people. And it was crazy. Bill Maher didn't really realize that.
Damn.
And he's like,
that's a perfect example because he's pretty in the know.
He's in the know. And so if a guy like Bill Maher didn't understand it, because he was saying, I was just about to get into it. And he was trying to make a joke about it, but that means he doesn't understand that it's clearly an issue when it comes to people's understanding of what's happening on that particular topic.
I can't believe. I'm mind
I think
blown.
we're the only ones in the world.
This room.
Yeah.
It blows. I mean, look, at a bare minimum, why isn't Zuckerberg making this more known? Zuckerberg could orchestrate a Facebook, Instagram campaign, whatever that means. I don't know that it's under the Facebook name.
Lobbyists.
But it could be influencers. I know. I'm saying like just public knowledge, like make the public aware of how
Facebook should pay us $200,000 a week. We put out videos
on TikTok,
just bashing the whole thing.
Yeah. The one thing I noticed, this was a new thing, is there was a really big UFC fight over the weekend. And for the first time, when you scrolled through TikTok during the fight, there was literally 12 different live streams streaming the fight. And the UFC has been notoriously really, really aggressive about pirators and pirating. And
the kid just can't stop it. It's too.
Well, what do you do when it's TikTok? Like,
it's because it's Chinese.
Yeah.
This is the same thing when it comes to AliExpress, which if you are into streetwear, you buy all your luxury goods, whatever. You like luxury brands, you can buy any fake fucking luxury brand in the world on AliExpress.
Speaking of the youth, in our old office, they used to in the Young and Reckless office, they would order fakes all the time. And they would open them and they'd be like, let's check it out, let's see. And they would look really real.
Yeah.
Balenciaga sneakers.
Whatever. And that's the problem is that like we allow AliExpress to ship to America. We allow Wish to ship to America. We allow TikTok to serve content.
I don't want to go too dark, but like if you start going down the road of like fentanyl and stuff, it's really dark.
Yeah.
If you go into the fact that like TikTok and fentanyl and knockoffs are all China shipping them here, they are poisoning us.
Way more devastating, and this is sad to say, than 9/11.
It is.
You're talking millions.
Did you see that for the first time, China's life expectancy passed ours?
Yeah.
Because ours is going down and theirs is going up. That's mainly fentanyl overdoses.
Yeah.
Fentanyl and opioids and those things are fucking up our life expectancy numbers.
Yeah.
And they're just shipping it all over here, just dumping it. It's like literally like you're like polluting into the ocean. They're just throwing their shit
They don't
over
give
here.
a fuck.
I just don't. Yeah, okay, whatever. I could say it over and over and over, and I love TikTok. But I do. It's a great product. It's so much better than Instagram and whatever, but it is so blatant, and we don't care, and I don't understand.
Terrible.
Okay, next story. This one's actually shocking to me. Is this real? Am I reading this right?
Yeah.
Shares of Smith & Wesson fall after Smith & Wesson is a gun manufacturer after reports of a drop in demand. I would have thought that gun demand, with the current like kind of crime and just everything going on, gun demand would be at an all-time record high. Smith & Wesson would be printing money.
Smith & Wesson last Thursday reported net sales of $84 million, a decrease of 69% from the same time last year.
Why would that be? Doesn't that seem fishy? Or not fishy, but like, doesn't it seem like there's something we don't know? Wouldn't you imagine that after COVID and like lockdowns and then crime?
By the way, you see Karen Bass has guns too.
Does she?
Her house got robbed and the guns got stolen.
That's what happened?
Yes.
She's like super liberal, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like even me, I had multiple friends that never would have considered buying a gun that asked me about guns over like the last 2 years.
Oh yeah.
It seems like sales would have went through the roof.
Yeah.
I wonder if
think
Smith
it
& Wesson
did.
has
I think
a
it
problem.
did last year, and now it's
Everyone got theirs.
Everyone has one.
They're all stocked up.
Yeah. You don't need 7 guns. You need what? 1, 2?
I mean, did we talk about that? Did we talk about the guy in Memphis?
No.
That guy in Memphis that drove around on Facebook Live shooting people?
Oh yeah.
Wild.
That's scary.
I don't know statistically. I'm not up to speed on this. If like things are really crazy, but it just feels fucking crazy. It just feels like a new shooting. They had Rolling Loud in Toronto. They're like shots fired backstage in the main VIP area. Rappers are getting shot left and right.
Yeah, I mean, I made a comment about it months ago about specifically in rap, like they've killed off the greatest talents
It's insane.
ever.
It feels to me like Tupac and Biggie were like so insane
Yeah.
in that time. And it feels to me like if you're a young kid that's a crazy rap fan, one of your favorite artists
Yeah.
has been shot or killed or like for sure.
Like think about like Triple X and Juice WRLD. These are like, and I mean, obviously,
that's Tupac to the
yeah.
to kids.
Juice WRLD didn't die of shooting, but like just death in general.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Okay, well, I mean, look, this, as long as there's nothing that we're not seeing here, and that Smith & Wesson, there's not like maybe a specific Smith & Wesson problem, then this would seem to be a little positive. Or like I said, it means literally everyone just already has a gun, and we don't need any more. What's going on with DocuSign? Why is DocuSign in the news?
I mean, DocuSign stock went up because their billings surpassed expectations, but they still lost $45 million. You're telling me
As a company, they lost $45 million?
I don't.
What
you
did they do?
600. What did you spend the money on? And I'm not
Don't
going
you
to
just
say
add signature fields and
That's
sort of
it.
attach?
I mean, how shitty of a business is this that you did 600 million plus in revenue in the quarter. You lost $45 million. How much storage does it take to sign fucking?
What are they doing?
They're spending money to acquire customers. I'm sure it's definitely that. Like, I'm sorry. DocuSign should not lose a fucking dollar.
Especially because I would say probably 4 years ago, I signed 70% real documents, 30% DocuSign. Today it's 100% DocuSign.
Okay.
Like I hardly ever sign a real physical document.
Okay.
So I have to believe that the people just using the platform is through the roof.
Yeah,
over the last few
profitable, yeah.
years.
I just don't, and I'm not going to sit and look through it if I don't want to be attacked for like, oh, well, they spend money on innovation. I'm like, what? You can do it with your dick? I mean, what is the innovation? They've done nothing.
Just stick your phone in your pants and it comes out signed. Like, what's Dee
You
doing?
can't even do it like facial recognition. At least if you could do that. That'd be something.
Why is Dee had his hand in his pants for the last 20 minutes?
No, he just signed the loan agreement.
It's tax season. Signing his tax docs.
I mean, I refuse. Nothing to do with this company. I don't get it. It's clowns.
This seems like if you're the like sort of Bill Ackman of Peloton, except for your bet paid off.
Yeah. This is...
You might have your sights on...
To me, if I was a hedge fund, I would be investigating this and I would be shorting it. I just... There's something
fishy.
Very fishy.
I would love to learn what's happening here.
Why are you losing $45 million?
You said revenue of $600 million?
Yes.
It almost feels fraudulent.
It is. Why are you losing this much money?
All right. This is amazing. Okay. All right. We'll keep an eye. If anyone has any insight, hit us up. Wait, can I ask you one quick question before we do our final story? Have you seen, I saw that there's a polio state of emergency in New York.
Wow. Really?
Right? Health emergency. Can someone Google that?
You got a notice?
Yeah. What's going on here?
I thought polio was done.
I thought it was long done. I'm supposed to go to New York here pretty soon.
Yeah.
What's we're just not concerned. Is it kind of like we're not concerned?
I mean, I didn't know that
in polio?
I thought Bill Gates handled that.
I thought he had that long cover.
Yeah.
We're looking at hundreds of people infected. New York declares state of emergency. It was detected in wastewater samples from all the way up to Long Island. It's a growing community of spreading. Apparently, it's already out in there. It's not like this is going to happen. It's already happening.
Is this the water supply? What is it?
Water supply.
Yikes.
I mean, is this like a you don't go to New York thing?
British. Bring your
Are
Brita
you
with
going
you.
next week?
Yeah. All right. Well, shit. I mean, New York Cathy's, can you let us know? Like, are we worried about polio, or is this
Stay safe.
kind of an obscure thing? Is this just so that we can not really a concern, but we can hurry up and get some vaccines or something? It feels a little... Anyway, Dee, what's your updated... Are you still running? I know you're busy. You're traveling a lot. You still able to run?
Funny you say that.
Yeah.
The last 2 days, I decided... So Saturday, I run club. I always run on Saturdays. But during the week, I've been slacking a little.
Yeah.
Last week, I just decided to wake up 5 a.m. and just started working out again.
Wow.
Today, I went running at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And it's just so oddly humid.
Yeah.
And I was so drenched that as soon as I got home, ripped a liquid IV, boom, back.
Really?
You know what's crazy is because I get really, really tired after long runs.
Yeah.
I used to.
Yeah.
And I realized it was really because of dehydration.
Yeah.
It wasn't because I was tired from the night before.
Yeah.
It's so literally because, and then I would wake up and just still be tired.
Yeah.
It's not like I felt any better.
Yeah.
I would take a nap and...
A lot of times if I feel a little shitty, have a little headache, feel a little lethargic, I literally pound a liquid IV and a water, and most of the time, it was just that I was dehydrated.
I literally do not take Advil.
You just pound a liquid IV, and that's usually the problem.
Yeah, it's like drink liquid IV water.
Yeah.
Mix it together.
Yeah.
Drink 2 of those. I'm good.
Yeah,
I can't even think of the last time I took an Advil.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's really crazy to me how much, because I feel like we're pretty in the know. We drink a good amount of water. I feel like a large portion of people must be dealing with this issue.
I was talking to our friend Matt Belinsky.
Yeah.
And I think he may have posted something on his Instagram about, he showed someone basically our age, mine and his age. And I think he made a comment on that, all the people just didn't drink water before 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They were just dehydrated.
Yes.
And they look like shit.
Yeah.
I honestly think most people are walking around dehydrated as shit.
I think so. I think if you gave
I
everyone
get peace on earth.
16 ounces of water, a liquid IV in it, you have peace on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are some people so angry? Because they're dehydrated.
I agree. Well, as you know, we're big fans of liquid IV here, and they do an incredible job. The biggest thing to me is the flavors. I've had so many flavored things. You can put flavoring in water and it'll make your water good, or you can have this, hydration thing, and they always taste like shit.
Yeah.
And Liquid IV just nailed it with the flavors. They have countless flavors. They also have they're on a mission to change the world. So for every purchase, they donate a serving to someone in need. So technically,
you're a hero.
Well, technically, our vision could actually come true if we suck down enough liquid IVs. Because we just said if you gave the whole world a liquid IV, everyone there'd probably be world peace.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get to work because they've already donated over 24 million servings. And I think it's all of our job to, suck down as many as we can and get the world hydrated.
Incredible. So head over to liquidiv.com, use the code group chat and get 15% off anything you order, or you can head over to Costco and
load up in bulk
and buy 25,000 sticks.
Do it. They're gonna donate.
You're good for the rest of your life.
That's 25,000 people that you're getting hydrated. So do your part. Liquid IV. Let's get back to the news. Okay, the biggest story of the the day, I guess, is Ray J. Every now and then Ray J goes a little nuts, and I'm gonna be honest, I can't totally say I blame him here. I don't know how you feel about this, but I don't totally blame him. I think that the guy, has been sort of made to be the bad guy in like the whole Kim Kardashian sex tape scandal. Yeah. And I think that originally it was sort of like on him and, maybe he's the one who orchestrated it, was the story and stuff like that. And I think that there's probably, if you're Ray J, I don't know, but I'm guessing if you're Ray J, over the years, there's probably been little jabs and stuff like on the Kardashian show, and he probably gets frustrated. And,
of course,
he talks about he wants to move on and he has kids now and he'd like to not be talked about in that way either. And apparently, so every now and then he does a little freak out, and then usually, someone steps in, he calms down, whatever. He's currently on a freak out as we speak because I think Kris Jenner went on a show, or maybe it was the final episode of their show on Hulu, and she did a lie detector test, and I didn't watch it, but apparently it was some sort of lie detector test that was according to Ray J, fake news, and kind of threw Ray J under the bus in some way. And so Ray J went off on Instagram Live, and he started showing the original contract between him and Kim and Kris involved, and like it says like deliverables, it says there's 3 different sex tapes.
Oh my God.
Like Cabo number 1, Cabo number 2, and then like another one. And he was saying like Kris watched all 3 of them and decided which one was the best. And that's the one that they went and sold. And Kim signed the agreement for him and everyone was in on it. And so he's going on a rampage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think at this point anything is surprising.
Yeah. I also don't feel like it changes anyone's perception of
either group.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ray J is going to be Ray J, and Kim Kardashian is going to be Kim Kardashian, and Kris Jenner is going to be Kris Jenner.
Yeah, I don't think anything changes here.
Yeah, it's just I think it would have been more shocking if this was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was.
They're too big to fail now.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking private equity. We're talking.
Come on, Sky Ventures. They don't care. They're not
I mean, yeah, we're not doing that type of diligence right now at this time.
No, we don't care about that old agreement.
Yeah, that agreement did not hit the diligence deck for the analyst at Sky.
It didn't make it. Apparently, she got paid $400,000. That's what Ray J is saying. So, I mean, her prices definitely went up over the years because that's, nothing now to her. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of like the biggest story that's not a story, right? It's like,
yeah.
It doesn't change anything. I do, like I said, maybe I'm seeing this weird here, but I do kind of feel bad for Ray J. It's like in the effort to clear their name, if they keep kind of putting it on him, I mean, that sucks for him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's got a family. He's trying to move on. He's not out here like bashing them all the time, I don't think.
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, I'm not following every word he says, but
I think Kanye talks about sex tapes more than Ray J.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Kanye is definitely more of, in their household, probably a villain than Ray J is.
But just like leave just leave it. It's okay. No one really cares anymore. I also feel like literally no one in the world cares anymore except for them. Like the groups involved about the sex tape.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. Maybe you get some I'm sure you get like a slew of like Instagram comments, but like no one is losing any sleep.
It is all over the news, so maybe people do care.
It's true. I think they just care about anything. Anything scandal, Kardashians, the news is in on. Okay. We got an interview.
Yep.
Who do we got?
We got the guys from ZayZoon. They are Kathy's. They are on a RV tour.
Ooh.
They're from Canada.
Okay.
They're going from LA to the East Coast.
Okay.
And they are basically in kind of disrupting the pay to like advanced payment business, like pay loan type world. It's actually a really cool business. His backstory is amazing. But Tate is on the pod today to just talk about his history and then talk about the tour they're doing around the country just to kind of educate people on this. And pretty cool.
Okay. Well, let's get into it.
All right, everyone. We have a special guest who just like pulled up from an RV. I mean, we just let anyone on this podcast now. People just creep out of RVs and they can just hop on the pod. We have Tate. You're originally from, you said, Western Canada.
Yeah, from Vancouver Island.
Vancouver Island. So did you get the RV in Vancouver Island or in America?
In America.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
no,
so
we picked the RV up in Vegas on Saturday and like, got everything organized and drove it over here. And then we officially kick off the event on tomorrow.
Okay. So, more importantly, you run a pretty interesting business called ZayZoon. And what I was curious about, it's more your backstory on how you got here. How'd you explain ZayZoon?
So ZayZoon is a way that people can get paid before the regularly scheduled payday.
Okay.
Keeps them away from like payday loans, predatory overdraft fees, helps them avoid late bill payments.
Got it.
So we like partner with businesses like a McDonald's or a Burger King franchise or, you name it. Mostly small, mid-sized businesses. And they offer this to their employees as a benefit.
So what are the options today?
Like a payday loan where an employee pays, $35 to get a couple $100 before payday, or
wow.
Same thing with an overdraft fee. And so, ZayZoon is super sweet because like basically an employee can never hear about us ever before. They can go into their workplace. They might get an email from us, or maybe they see like the lunchroom poster, download the app, and within 90 seconds, they have access to the money that they've already earned, but haven't yet been paid for like, $5 or less.
Wow.
So,
and is it a flat dollar amount or a percentage of, or?
Yeah, 50% of their pay up to $200 a day.
Okay.
Or $1,000 a pay period.
Got it.
And then they pay a flat fee to get that money. But we have a ZayZoon debit card that they can take, and it's free. And we have a couple other options that bring the price down.
And so it's interesting. You look like a young guy. Why are you interested in lending employees money?
I am a young guy. Thank you. No,
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay.
Yeah, 30. Okay, so I grew up on Vancouver Island, and
that is near Vancouver, but an island.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like west coast of Canada. It's as far west coast Canada you can get.
I've been to Vancouver. I just don't know where Vancouver Island is.
You hop on a ferry.
Okay.
You waste an hour and a half of your life.
Okay.
And then you're on Vancouver Island.
Okay. What's going on Vancouver Island? Nothing, right?
Yeah, it's the most beautiful place in the summer.
Okay.
Like most beautiful place on earth. We got lakes, rivers, ocean.
Okay.
Mountains.
All right.
And then
where's Banff?
Banff is in just outside of Calgary.
That looks amazing.
You go to Montana and go straight up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I grew up in like a pretty small town. It was, I don't know, maybe 20,000 people. So relatively small, I guess.
Yeah.
And grew up in like the fishing industry. Gooey ducks. Have you heard of gooey duck?
Is that a fish?
It's a clam. It's
Okay.
like a giant clam that you dive for.
No idea. I mean, vegetarian, we're away from sea animals.
So in any case, these are like a Chinese delicacy. They all get shipped over to Hong Kong.
Wow.
They pay way too much money for them.
How do you spell that?
It's like geoduck.
Okay.
GEO duck.
Okay.
So I grew up in like commercially fishing these things, right? Divers going down and getting them, and I'm up on the boat basically packaging them, and socked away a fair amount of money as like a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid. So
you were like a farmer equivalent or fisherman?
I guess so. Like fisherman, like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I did a second mortgage. So when I was 16 years old, one of my dad's buddies needed, a subprime mortgage basically, or couldn't go to the bank for a mortgage. Yeah. So I lent him.
So you were a loan shark at 15? What are you, in the mafia?
I lent him the money because, like, honestly, looking back at it, it was, you know, my dad's way of sort of being like, hey, here's how you can make money with money.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what it was, right? So I'm like, is it safe? And he's like, oh yeah, it's safe. Like the house secures it.
Yeah.
So a year later, sure enough, I got money back with interest. I'm like, holy shit, this is an awesome way to make money.
Yeah.
And then I went crazy with it.
Wow.
So I put ads up on Craigslist and I said like money available. I would get hundreds of emails. I'd sift through those emails and meet with people in a Starbucks or Canada, so Tim Hortons.
So you did local lending.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like a couple $1,000 at a time type thing, 60, 90 days.
And what did people need money for?
Everything. Like,
What's the craziest one? Nose job.
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. Like a
Okay.
lot of times the stories would change, right? Like they need it for one thing and then the next day you meet up with them, they need it for something else.
Yeah.
I'd have to think on that a little bit.
And so what was the like default rate?
So this is where I got lucky. And this is probably why I decided to pursue ZayZoon, because I had a less than 1% default rate.
That's because you're in Canada. If you were in LA, that should be 60%. It'd be like, I don't know, I never heard of Tate.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the small town
Canadians
probably
just
helped.
have like so much honor. I feel like they're just more honorable people.
I
The
always
guilt
wondered,
would kill them.
yeah, I always wonder if it was like, you know, I'm a young kid as well at the time, so maybe that like caused some sort of guilt on the person too, because I'm like lending money to, you know, 40, 50, 60-year-olds.
Yeah. And what size amounts?
Anywhere from $500 to 5,000 on average. There's like the odd outlier that was, you know, 10, 15 times more than that.
Yeah.
But typically they're kind of smaller dollar.
Okay. And then how did you secure it? You didn't. It's
Handshake.
unsecured. Handshake.
Yeah.
Damn, that is Canadian shit.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like it was sort of the same. I guess like how that fed into ZayZoon was the same sort of patterns were emerging, right? Where people were needing this money and they had decent incomes, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, why do you need $2,000? Like this makes no sense. And what you start to learn is like there's a huge disconnect between income and cash flow.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have these cash flow issues, and if you need money for a short term and you don't have like a good line of credit or it's extended already, you don't have an option, right? And so I start looking at like what their options are. I'm looking at like payday loans and overdraft fees. And I'm like, fuck, like we got to be able to do this, you know, better.
Yeah.
And that's basically, you know, kind of the jumping off point for that.
When did you start ZayZoon?
It would have been conceived in like 2013.
Okay.
And there was a few years of fumbling and trying to figure out exactly, you know, where we fit and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we entered the US in 2018.
Got it.
And that's when it sort of, you know, solidified.
So then are your actual customers the employers?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like we monetize at the employee.
Yeah.
So the employee pays us the fee, but ultimately like the employers
That's
that
to onboard you.
conduit. Yeah. And so we think of the employer as our customer.
Yeah.
They're the ones that's putting up the lunchroom poster. They're the one that's putting up like a big recruitment poster being like, hey, come work here because you work here today, you get paid today.
Yeah.
So they're the one that views it as a benefit to them.
Got it.
And then, you know, the employee uses it as also a benefit, but.
Yeah. And so who's your prototypical like employer?
So small and mid-sized business, it's typically someone that owns a few franchises. They might own 4, 5, 6.
So like fast food, fast casual type.
Yeah, lots of fast food, lots of home healthcare.
Got it.
Lots of, we got some manufacturing. Yeah.
And is your target market a certain income level? Is that why, or
No, like it's interesting. Like
why don't you do it for Goldman Sachs? Hey, I need $600,000 next week. I mean,
yeah, it's a good question. Like,
I mean, those people have cash flow issues too.
no, you're absolutely
I
right.
had tuition for school due today. I would love some cash.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Like we initially launched and we like used payroll companies as our conduit to the business, and then the business as the method to the employee.
So go to ADP or someone.
Exactly.
ADP offers something, right?
Like so ADP offers us.
Okay.
So we are partnered with ADP, but when we started, we were partnered with like all these regional payroll companies, and they just so happen to pay these regional based franchisors and, you know, mom and pop shops. And so we kind of just like over the years tooled our business and tooled our sales process and everything to those type of businesses. So I guess that's why we're not going after the Goldman Sachs. But
Yeah.
you're right. Like the cash flow issue
It's for everybody.
that, yeah, it's for sure real. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because like I feel like, and obviously there's a premium for the dollar amounts, but there's probably some pretty decent safety at the higher end level as well.
Yeah.
Even despite having large.
Like I think it's actually a big thing in real estate, like realtor commissions.
Got it.
I think there's big businesses there that do like almost factoring basically for realtors.
I know that's big for truck drivers too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of payment
Yeah.
advancements in the truck driving industry as well.
Totally. We have a big kind of like last mile trucking company out of Phoenix.
Okay.
And yeah, they're one of our first clients back in 2018. And
Wow. And so given the data you have, what's the state of the employee in America? What data are you seeing?
Yeah, it's not very good.
People need money, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Got it.
Yeah.
And is that a different behavior than what you saw 6 months ago or a year ago, or it's still the same?
So COVID was really cool because
Everyone was getting free money.
well, yeah, and like you would look at the charts. So like we'd look at our growth charts, and you would literally see like the moment the tax like the child tax benefit hit or the COVID stimulus hit, you would see a drop in those levels for the next week.
Yeah.
And it would perfectly correlate with like how much someone's taking from us
Yeah.
and then how much, they're not taking from us the
Yeah.
next week. So it was super cool to watch.
And are you seeing now, like, what are some of the next level features you guys are going to offer? Like, it seems like you'll become a bank at some point. Is that, or?
Yeah. I mean, like we got the debit card, which effectively is a bank account, right?
Yeah.
Like that person puts their entire paycheck on there.
Got
They
it.
can put multiple paychecks on there if they got them.
Got it.
Yeah, we got a few cool little products coming out, both for the employer and employee.
Got it. And so today, the employer's benefit is that, hey, we have this cool feature that's, priced well so that you can get paid right away. Is that like
for the employer? Sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, so basically there's like a huge issue with recruitment, retention, especially with COVID, right?
Yeah.
Like no one wants to work now.
Yeah.
Or they think that they don't want to
Yeah.
work. And so, there's a huge issue with trying to recruit and retain people. So any differentiator helps. And
Got
that's
it.
sort of what employers are seeing with earned wage access as an industry is
Got it.
it's something that they can turn on. It's turnkey, doesn't cost them anything.
Yeah.
And then they can kind of tout that as a benefit.
Got it. And then, so are you disrupting effectively pay loan type
Yeah.
folks? And then I guess you are disrupting overdraft fees because so many people don't realize how much. I mean, when I started my first business, $5,000 a year in overdraft fees. Easily. Every year I'd go to Wells Fargo and I would sit down with the lady at the local branch and I would probably be able to beg at least 75% of it off. And she would just be like, you're an idiot. Just whatever. I'll reverse these. But she's like, you're paying some though, because
Yeah.
it was just like we had a business. Some days we had money. Some days we had no money.
Yeah. You run into cash flow, dude. Like cash flow with businesses. So whenever an employer objects and they're like, well, my employees don't need this, or why would they need this? Especially in the small business space, like you just point right back to them. And you're like,
but there's no negative for the employer to offer unless they felt that your rates were too high or something like that. But if you're substantially lower than everybody else.
Yeah. Well, and there's free options available, right? But yeah, it's a no-brainer in that sense.
And
sure.
then, so are you guys positioned as like a fintech company or a software company? Or?
Fintech, HR tech.
Got it.
Yeah. We'll be at we'll be at the HR Tech conference next week in Vegas. I'm on a panel with
I'm sure that's a
ADP
fun
and
crowd.
Visa. they get after it.
HR Tech, I don't know, man.
Yeah, they get after
it. I mean, these people are in HR. They can't get after it. Literally by the justification of their job.
Man, payroll people
Everyone's
are crazy.
6 feet away. Do not address me with any...
Payroll people are crazy. They're all CPAs and stuff, so they let loose.
Yeah, I'm sure. You got to go to the fashion ones. That's an HR nightmare. And then, and you guys have raised money?
Yeah. We just announced a $25.5 million raise
for your series.
Yeah, called Series A, I guess. Series A plus. I don't know. So we're like based in Calgary, Canada. It's interesting how the money raising goes there because it's not so much, obviously there's companies that get like VC backed through the States. We haven't gone that route. We've gone entirely private office and like high net worth individuals. So we've kind of raised in multiple tranches throughout the years. And so we haven't really ascribed to like the series, seed, series A, series B type financings.
So even this last round was not done by venture.
No, we had a couple big family offices in it. But yeah, no venture, like no,
And why is that?
Class A venture. I think it has to do with like our landscape. Like being in Calgary, we have a pretty good network of high net worth oil and gas individuals.
Got it.
Family offices. And so you kind of just go where the path of least resistance is, right?
Got it.
And we tried to chat with VCs lots and there's definitely interest there and whatnot, but it's again,
not as easy a process as it.
Not as easy, and it's not. I mean, you probably know, like it's not it's not always what it's.
Yeah.
You might be able to get a better value here, or the terms might look better here on paper, but when you dig, it gets scary.
Yeah, absolutely. And is most of your business in America?
100%.
100%.
Yeah. So we got like 75 employees. Maybe.
Why don't Canadians don't need cash?
We launched in Canada in 2017 before coming down to the US, and it was funny. So we had one payroll company and like multiple businesses on board. It was like, decent little thing that we had going, but it was plateaued. And we went down to the US, went to Portland for a payroll conference, came back after 4 days and had more signed deals in those 4 days than we had in the last year in Canada.
Wow.
And so it's just like, we got to go to the States full time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so, full circle, why are you guys in an RV?
Okay, so we picked this. It's sick. It's like a fully branded.
You just raised 25
RV.
million. You should get a jet.
We should. Yeah. No, man. So like the RV is like about road tripping. It's like
you don't have any kids, do you?
I do not.
That's why you're doing shit like this.
It's like what Middle America grew up on. So like we're a company that services small and mid-sized businesses. It's like what better way to show that we care about that and advocate for financial health and connect with those people than literally driving across the country and shaking hands as we go. So we're hosting all these community events. We got kicking off Thursday in Ontario, California.
Yep, very familiar.
It's kind of a triple entendre. Ontario is a province in Canada.
Yeah.
First payroll partner that we ever had in the States down here, and it's our first stop on the trip.
Oh wow.
But yeah, we're doing a full community event there. We got like games, giveaways, food trucks. And then the next day we're doing one at McDonald's. We're gonna
in Ontario,
in Riverside.
Okay.
First 100 people through the door get a free meal. And
listeners,
meeting with the staff
pull up. Free McDonald's.
But
and so you're going out throughout the country.
Yeah, like we're doing that, basically that exact same thing. We're doing that across 17 states.
Okay.
And meeting, like we're partnered with, I don't know, maybe 3,400 employers. We'll be meeting with maybe 200 to 300 of those.
Oh wow. So it's all existing customers you're visiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And their employees.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and there'll be some we're producing lots of content and stuff along the way, and that's obviously what's going to bring the new business. But it's more just to solidify ourselves as the provider for this small and mid-sized business.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
That's crazy. Shout out to Canada. I thought you guys just had Bieber and Shopify.
Both amazing things, by the way.
Drake too.
The other thing that we're doing is we're flying in a bunch of our team members, right?
Oh,
so
amazing.
At every single one of these events, we're bringing in 3, 4, 5, 6 members, which I think is super important when you're scaling as a company.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy. You bring on 10 new people a month or whatever it is. They miss context.
Yeah.
And so being able to actually
touch and feel what you're actually building.
Yeah, totally. And then they can take that back to their teams. And I just think that it's culturally a really solid thing for us, especially at the inflection point, right?
Yeah, that's incredible. 2 questions. Are you hiring?
We are hiring.
Okay. Is it anywhere in America?
Yeah, anywhere in North America.
Where do people find out about that?
ZayZoon.com/careers.
Okay.
I hope.
All right. And then if employers or employees are interested, where should they go for that?
ZayZoon.com. It's pretty intuitive. There's an employees button and an employers button.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if people have questions, there's a
Yeah,
like
yeah, we got
FAQs.
like a live chat bot. I think it's like not a bot, but like a live chat system. I think it's maybe like a 4-minute response time. So they're in good hands. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I think you should work on something for higher income people too.
Will you be my beta customer?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Nice.
I always need cash flow.
Love
These
it.
kids are expensive. But yeah, I mean, I it's interesting, like very similar to I years ago experienced how expensive Western Union was.
Yeah.
It's like 20 years ago. And I could not believe how much it was to send money.
Yeah, it's silly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that still use it to this day to send money all over the country, all over the world.
Yeah, and now you got like TransferWise and stuff. Or I think it's just called Wise now, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I've used to go back and forth to Canada and the States. But yeah, it's a silly industry.
Well, there's so many when you start. That's the obvious layer, but then pay loans, and you just start looking at the basically the financial services industry and how they've been just absolutely taking people to the cleaners for the last 50 years. Where everything from overdraft fees to just the way that they're just, it's so predatory and like finally it's getting exposed. But even though it's only exposed for people who are paying attention, the average person has no idea what's going on.
Well, they're so entrenched, right?
Yeah.
Like you go to any, mostly low income neighborhoods.
Yeah.
It's like 6 payday loan shops on a single corner, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's possible in a single corner, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's silly.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with like Western Union.
How
like,
big is payday loans as an industry?
It's about 30 billion a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a massive industry.
30 billion is like their net revenue.
I believe so. Yeah. Maybe don't quote me on that.
I mean, that's all profit.
Yeah. Maybe don't quote me on
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it's a big industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, overdraft fees, big bangs for like 12 billion last year, right? So.
And that's just air.
Yeah. Well, it's so silly, right? Like overdraft fees is such like this archaic way of thinking.
Yeah.
Because it's to protect their risk.
Yeah.
But when transactions happen in a more real time state,
yeah, and
many times it's not even required, right? Like these banks were actually caught like stacking transactions so that they would cause an overdraft on purpose.
Yeah.
It's some shady stuff.
That's terrible. Well, and if people want to reach out to you, are you on social media?
Yeah, Twitter, just at Tate Hackert.
Okay. TateHackKer.
ERT. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Super interesting story.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
And congratulations. And, hopefully we'll have you back on when you sell the company for $1 billion.
I heard there might be a live event soon.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes. We're working on that.
I heard maybe East Coast.
Yes. We're hoping New York. Maybe you'll be there by time.
I was going to say, we'll be in New York November 12th, maybe?
It's going to take you that long to get there?
Yeah, it's wild.
I don't know. November's kind of cold in New York. You might want to get there a month earlier. Well, I guess you're from Canada. You guys could take the.
Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be crispy when we're finishing up there. We got to go back to Canada for a week and a half, end of the month. Do a big team retreat. We're going to a summer camp and
nice.
Getting the team out and stuff. So
nice. Yeah, I think we'll be in New York hopefully in October. I'm basically going every 2 weeks for work, but hopefully we should definitely do something together. That'd be fun.
Sick. Be dope.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
Great interview. If you see the guys cruising in their RV, give them a honk and a wave.
Okay.
Let's end with, do we have any shout outs?
Yeah, we got a couple shout outs. The first one is from E to Nabil. He's turning 25, so big happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
He runs his own dealership and his Instagram handle is @Carplex. ___.
At 25, 24? I mean, he's turning 25?
Yeah.
Running your own damn dealership?
Shay, this is the guy you should be dating. I mean, you're looking for a timeshare condo?
Yeah.
This guy's got a car dealership.
He's got a point, Shay. He has got a point.
Hit him, Nabil.
Yep. This is crazy. Shout out to Nabil.
Yeah, this is amazing, right? So happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday and congrats on the...
What's up with the cars? We're always looking for cars out here.
Yeah, and give us the rundown. You know, what are you seeing? What's going on in the market?
Then we have one from our group chat family, Benaz, who visited last summer with her daughter and son. She wanted to give a big shout out to her daughter for starting her freshman year at the College of William and Mary. Here's a fun fact. The school dates back to the royal charter from King William and Queen Mary. The late Queen visited the school last in 2007.
Wow.
But she wanted to give big shout out to her daughter, Sae, on her starting this journey. And college is great. And she messaged, says, give some wisdom about, going to college. My only hot take about going to college that I regret is I was so much in a rush to get out of there.
Yeah.
And then when I got out of there, I was like, I can't believe I had all this at my fingertip.
Yeah.
Like resources,
Yeah.
people, professors, libraries. It's all available to you.
Yeah.
And most people do not use it.
Yeah.
They literally are all like partying or trying to get the fuck out.
Yep.
So if you're at school right now, take all of it in.
Yeah. That's the only thing that I feel like I missed from college at all was just the relationships.
Yeah.
So just get to know everybody.
Yeah.
You also never know where everyone's going to end up, where you might cross paths later. But, meet as many people as you can.
Yeah. And then finally, big birthday shout out from Amanda Murthy, my sister-in-law, to my brother on his birthday. He's a 9/11 baby. So he, has had a very memorable birthday for many years. And Amanda, Maverick, and Vivian want to give him a big happy birthday. Also, the big news, which I think Alan shared, Maverick is 6 months seizure free, which is just an incredible blessing.
That is so amazing.
So very, very big happy birthday and big hugs to Maverick for that. And
happy birthday, Anand.
Anand's in London having some Indian food tonight.
Woo! Anand's on his big trip.
Big trip.
Okay, well, amazing. Happy birthday, Anand. Congrats to Mav, man. That's amazing.
It is
and
amazing.
Shout out to the Catholics. I remember we did that donation thing and a lot of people donated. And stuff. That was really awesome.
That's incredible.
Okay. All right. That's it. Everyone have a great week. That's all we got. I mean, just maybe don't spend any money.
From Monday, 6 to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Do not spend $1.
Yeah, just DM us send us or like if you go to a restaurant.
Like I have a dinner
water.
tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Yep.
I'm 100% making the other person pay for dinner.
Yeah.
So I didn't spend any money.
I think technically the money was still spent.
But
you're still doing your part.
Okay, I'll
Cheapest
drag
guy I know.
You know what I'll do? I will drag the dinner to 8:15.
Yep.
So no money was spent from 6 to 8.
Fair. That's good. Okay,
He'll be like, "Oh, I gotta go." I'm like, "Oh, you got 15 more minutes."
Yeah. Hey, wait, one more thing. Okay, well, if you're out there and you're, maybe you're eating dinner and you're just ordering a water, maybe you're going just heavy on the free chips, send us a photo.
You're a hero.
Tag us because you're a true American hero. You're more of what we need in this country.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys later.